Greetings, great Oracle of Liberty. I feel like I know you.
Greetings to you as well, citizen. I wish everyone would get to know me as you have. I take it you have come to inquire about religious freedom, since that's where we left off. Now, as we talk, keep in mind that a great many of our citizens came here to escape religious persecution. They came seeking religious freedom, and they found it. America has always welcomed those seeking asylum from religious persecution. And not just persecuted Christians either, but Jews, Hindus, Buddhists, and more. We need to take note of the enormous difference between being a Christian nation and being a nation of Christians. Our objective was never to be a nation of Christians. Had that been the case, we would not have allowed any non-Christians entry. Our objective was, however, to be a nation governed in accordance with Christian principles. A key factor in Christianity is the desire to see all people become Christians, but without any coercion. Separation of church and state is intended to keep the government from coercing citizens into joining a specific state religion. Immigrants were free to practice their religion of choice, or for that matter, to not practice any religion at all, so long as they agreed to submit to being governed in accordance with Christian principles.
Ah.
Let me give you an analogy that will help. Suppose you wanted to move to a Far Eastern country. It'd be one thing to have to submit to being governed in accordance with the 5 moral precepts of Buddhism, and quite another for them to require you to convert to Buddhism.
But Oracle, we have so many laws. How can we tell if they are in agreement with Christian values? What kind of laws would create a serious threat?
Well, from studying the Bible, I'm sure you're familiar with the Law of Moses. Let's suppose a group was devoted to reinstating the Law of Moses in its entirety. This would present immediate problems.
Really?
Well, judge for yourself. Leviticus 20:27 requires all witches, mediums, and such to be stoned to death. So, if this law were implemented, we would have to search out all fortune tellers, tarot card readers, and perhaps even the horoscope writers and stone them to death.
Oh my! Are there more like that?
Yes. Exodus 21:17 states that anyone who dishonors their father and mother must be put to death.
Oh my goodness. Forgive me, great Oracle. I was just about to point out that your examples were a bit hypothetical since the Law of Moses has not been implemented in its entirety for thousands of years, when I remembered the recent concern over Sharia law and the so-called honor killings in our own country.
That's very perceptive of you, citizen. But allow me to finish the scenario I was developing. So as you can see, in some cases, the Law of Moses would be in direct conflict with the laws of the United States. From a Christian perspective, these laws are part of a covenant implemented by Moses, which was then superseded by the one implemented by Jesus. The Christian covenant does not contain such laws, and in fact, they would stand in direct opposition to our Constitution's right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Such groups, by definition, are subversive and should be barred from entry into the United States. So if over time, these citizens born here developed such a movement and attempted to implement local, state, or federal laws in any way supporting Leviticus 20:27 or Exodus 21:17, then their actions may well be viewed as sedition under the U.S. federal law, and carrying out such executions would be first-degree murder. They could even be viewed as treason. This was, in fact, the case with Adam Gadhan, a natural-born U.S. citizen who was convicted of treason for producing videotapes in support of Al-Qaeda. You see, to become an American citizen, immigrants must swear an oath of allegiance, which in part reads, "I will support and defend the Constitution and the laws of the United States of America against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I will bear arms on behalf of the United States when required by law." If an immigrant were to take that oath and then break it, they should be expelled. So the fact that an immigrant is a non-Christian is not and never has been an issue. But that an immigrant, regardless of religious or political beliefs or affiliations, will pledge his or her life to defending our Constitution, that is, and always has been, an issue. It is often assumed that natural-born citizens would gladly take this oath. Unfortunately, cases like that of Nidal Hassan expose just how naive such an assumption is. Hassan was a citizen born in Virginia. He took a military induction oath virtually identical to that used for immigration. He was an Army major at Fort Hood, Texas. He's charged with 13 counts of premeditated murder. These murders were in response to his Islamic convictions. Many Muslims do not consider these 13 murders to be sinful. In fact, the Yemen-based Muslim cleric Anwar al-Awlaki quickly declared Hassan a hero as, quote, fighting against the U.S. Army in an Islamic duty, end quote. Furthermore, under the Islamic rule of taqiyya, Hassan committed no sin by falsely swearing his oath.
Great Oracle, forgive my interruption, but this country was birthed by a revolution. Could not Hassan's actions be viewed as simply revolutionary? And as for social evolution, it would seem that the tighter we hold to the Constitution, the more difficult it would be to evolve. Change with the times. Surely we don't want to be chained to documents that are over 200 years old.
True. So next time, let's talk more specifically about the roles of evolution and revolution.